So, welcome to Bookmas. So, this is something I have been doing for years. Not years, I've been doing for like 2 years, I think. So, basically, this is not something new. People do Vlogmas, Bookmas, and everything. I got inspired by Hailey's Bookland. Hailey in Bookland. I got inspired by her to do this. Now she has been doing a lot of different things like 12 videos, 24 videos, 31 videos. I have always been doing 31 videos. I just feel like that is something that is like good for me because then I can tell you all my reading plans basically for this year and next year. So, I will be having a lot of different videos like, different books I will be reading in categories. That is kind of what I use these 31 days for, and tell you, but also hold me accountable for books that I want to read this month. Why do I always say month? Books that I want to read this year. I have a dog here, if anyone is wondering. So just you will have some different things. You will be having like I wrap up my goals. We will be talking for goals next year. And then I have different categories that I categorize books in, like top books, top romance books, fantasy romances. I have a lot of different things like sequels, and yeah, I have a lot of different things that will be coming up. And then it will also get a flip through of my new reading journal for the starter pages. Basically, the starter pages are just most of the time just books that have been mentioned in earlier videos. And then it's not like super pretty, these starter pages, just because I want things to be that I can just look at what do I have. And yeah, basically what I have been planning. Before I did like 21 books to read, and like that, I decided that all my categories will have 12 books, just because I don't want to have way too many books. I want to be a little bit more free. Like last year, or this year, I have to say, I was really like, the game I was doing was really like locking me into a lot of books, and I didn't have that much like free reading spaces. So I was like kind of stressed. So you will be getting I have done a new game, new board, and you will be getting rules for that, January's TDR, and yeah, I kind of can't wait to show you all that. It might be the board that I end up with. I have been, the year before I did Bookopoly, and now I did this game, and I just think that I need my own game, but also it gives me some like free, like open prompts, but still have prompts to choose from, because I am, I cannot, if you say pick a fantasy, I am going to have so much trouble picking a fantasy because I have too many options. And yeah, then I haven't written down anything, so I don't know if anything of this makes sense. But I also am doing the Read to Zero challenge. If you haven't seen that video, that was like a few months ago that I made that. Not I made that, but a video about it. Basically, what Read to Zero is that this will be throughout 2022, you will basically try and read all the books that you have on your shelves. So a lot of the books that I will be talking about in the following month will be books I have on my TBR, but not all of them. Some of them are books that I am planning to read, planning to buy. Some of these are books that I really want to get to, that I want to own, but I haven't gotten to it yet, and they're just overall books that I want to own. Some are just books I will read as an audiobook or something, just because some books I want to read, but I don't feel like owning them. Because I maybe have read the first book, I liked it, I want to continue on, but it's not a book series that I want to own. So yeah, and then we have some different categories of things that I want to read more of. So you will get I don't know what you want to call it, but BIPOC, POC, I don't know what I'm going to call it, because there are so many different, things that are said. But I will have one of those, that is like, I'm going to call it, that's a starter list. I do try to have some PLC books in the other things that I have, but it's just, for me, it's really difficult because I read synopsis, and that is like, I do want to get better at reading non-white authors. So just having a starter list, I always have a list with this that I call like a starter list, that I at least get some in, because I do want to work with that, but we are going to talk about that in my goals. So yeah, but then we also have fantasy romance. That is a genre I have been loving lately. And then we also have a series, which basically is, these are the series that I want to finish this year. So I think most of them I have been starting. I have started with maybe like one book, but I do want to read all of them to finish. And then we have like disability wrap, like books with some sort of disability in it, because I do want to read like more of that to learn. And yeah, and then I have like the normal one, books that I want to reread, because I always reread some books. But yeah, and then we of course have the big books, and let's just say it kind of became a lot. It became like a lot big books. Then we have the poetry and the graphic novel. I always have like a little selection of this, but yeah, I tried to get into poetry, so I have definitely tried to do some different things with poetry, like different sorts. I want to see what poetry books do I like and what do I don't like, so I kind of can ask for recommendations on, I like these poetry books, so what would you recommend me to read next? And then graphic novels, I do have some continuations, some new ones, some, yeah. Usually they are just like read at least like one volume of something. So, and then we of course have my romance, like normal romance that are like set on Earth. So yeah, I always have some of these. I read a lot of romances, so these are just like my high priority list. Then we have fantasy romance, of course, have a few of those. Don't know if I will get to everyone, but I will try. And then we of course have BIPOC, and then we have the top books. These are like top books that are maybe like normal fantasy or books that I really want to get to. It doesn't have to be fantasy. It can be like normal, like contemporaries without romance and things like that. And what you will see is that I have like reread one book there, and then I have like read the next book there and the next book there, just because I just try to, let's call it, trick myself to read a whole series throughout the year without, having them in series, because I do have a lot of series that are like high priority, I would say, like, and then like you own these books. Not all of these I own. Some of them are like, yeah, we will get to that. And then we have like sequels. I always try to read some sequels. Try to move on with some series that I don't feel like I need to, hurry along with. And some are like books that I really want to read. And some of you will see some of these was in last year that I didn't get to because my game would not allow it. So some of these are there. Then we have, of course, disability wrap. And we have my 5-star predictions. I will try to have 12 that are different genres. I will have a lot of different genres in that 5-star predictions, because I saw that the year before here I had, I think, 12, and that was like a lot of the same genre, and then I didn't get to all of them because I am in like different genre mood. So, and then we have, of course, the series that I want to finish. So these are only like series that are finished, and there are some series that are like, you have 3 books that are in that series, but then you have the, let's call it the same series, but you have 3 different books. I will get to that because it is one that are like that. I will explain why I have that one on there. So that is kind of it. Then we will also, of course, talk about my most anticipated releases and yeah, just all different kind of things. But kind of the whole reason why I actually made this video was because I want to make one thing very clear if you at least watch this video before going into my 31 videos. So after this, it will be a vlog. This will come out on a Monday, and it's still 1 day left in November, but basically I just have to post it today. Basically what I want to say is that I am a reader that put things on my TBR. I read what the book is about one time, and then I usually don't read it again because I like to go into my books pretty blank. So it's not all of these that I will mention that I do know what is about, Just if you are curious about what this book is about, I would really recommend that you go in and read it yourself, just because the thing is, I don't like knowing too much before going into a book, because I just feel like synopsis can go 2 ways. They can say, or they can say too much, but then that's not the main point why I don't read them. Basically, they can be like really bad synopsis that kind of don't make me want to read that book, but because like friends that I have on Goodreads has rated this highly, I will basically add it to my TBR. But then you also have that the synopses are so good that you have really high expectations. And then I will have really high expectations going into that book if I really read the synopsis like right before I go into the book. That is the reason why I don't actually know a lot. Some books I obviously do know what it's about, but some I definitely don't. So I'll try my best to say what books are about, but sometimes I know nothing. I don't remember what the synopsis is about. I just know that I want to read this book. So that was the beginner video. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. At least it was informative. So yeah, I hope I will see you for my 31 videos, my Bookmas. So yeah, I will see you next time for another video. Bye!